Hello friends, how are you all? I hope you are fine. Today in this video we are going to learn dictionaries in Python. So these dictionaries are very different from the ones that you know, but there is one similarity in both. That is, they are used to provide information, and this dictionary in Python is also used for storing info. By the way, I have a video called Python in 25 minutes and you can watch that. I will put the link in the description, so please check it and also like and subscribe for many such videos. Anyways, let's get back to the topic. So today we are going to learn dictionaries. Dictionaries are basically key value pairs. So there is key and there is value. This is the syntax for creating dictionary. We will put the curly brackets and inside it we will say key colon value. So this will be the key, which is basically something for storing this value. So to access the value, we need to use its key. Just like how there is door and its key. So for example, you want to get inside a room, but it's locked, but you have the key. So using the key, you can open the door and access the room. Just like that, this value is closed, and to access it, you need to have a key. You can create many such key value pairs, and that will be dictionaries. So let's see how to create dictionaries, and we will see many examples. So what are we waiting for? Let's start. So I am here inside my PyCharm, which is a code editor, and inside it I hope you can see this. Inside it, I'm going to write a comment dictionaries. Perfect. Now to create dictionaries, we saw that its syntax was, let me write the syntax. Dictionary syntax is key colon value. Let's see how do we do that. So let's give our dictionary a name. For example, I want to store the runs scored by different batsmen in a match. So I will say match equals to, okay, this is a keyword I think. So that's why we need to declare another variable. Scores equals to curly brackets, and inside it I can put some key value pairs. So let's say in this case the key is Rohit Sharma and the value is, okay, value should be an integer. So I will say 100 runs. Let's say Rohit Sharma scored 100 runs. Perfect. And there is a mistake in this. I hope you can identify that. The mistake is that I have put a comma over here, but it has to be semicolon. So this declares a dictionary which has only one key value pair. We can access this value by using this key. How? Let's see. So I will try to print the runs scored by Rohit Sharma, and for that what I will say scores, and then I will put this square brackets. Inside it I will say my key name, which is Rohit Sharma. Perfect. And now if I try to print it, you can see the run button over here. I hope you can see that. And if I run it, you can see 100 is being printed. So this is our output and it's perfect. If I change this to 150, our output is 150. That's great. Now it's time to move forward. Using dictionaries, I can not only create single key value pair, but I can create many such. For example, let's say Shikhar Dhawan scored Shikhar Dhawan scored 30 runs, and I can print that too. So I will say duplicate this, and instead of Rohit Sharma, I will print the scores of Shikhar Dhawan. And there you go. 30 is the answer, which is perfect. Now let me show you. Firstly, let me comment this. Oh wait, let me comment out these lines, and now I will show you the scores dictionary itself. If I run it, you can see we are getting the same dictionary that we wrote here. which is perfect. Now, you know that 1 minute. Let me uncomment these lines. So now you know that if I do this, I will get these values. But to make it look a bit more user friendly, I will use a for loop so that we will get a nice looking message so that Rohit Sharma scored 150 runs and Shikhar Dhawan scored 30 runs like this. So for that, I will do a for loop for key, comma value in pairs in scores. I will say print an F string and in curly brackets I will say key scored and I will convert this integer to string which is value runs. I will make you understand what this line means, what this whole code means. But for now, just look at me and I will run this code until now and we are getting some values, I mean errors. Why is that so? So I found out why we were getting errors, and that was because we didn't call this function items. So for looping over this scores dictionary, we need to apply this method items. And if I run it now, I will say I will get Rohit Sharma scored 150 runs, Shikhar Dhawan scored 30 runs. And let's see why is that so. So for key value in scores dot items, what does this mean? This means that for the number of key value pairs, so this is one key value pair, this is one key value pair, and for each key value pair, it will run this block of code inside it, and the key will be this first piece of information, and the value will be this second piece of information. And now for each dictionary, I mean for each pair, I am printing f string, which is key scored string value runs. So f string is basically formatting string. This key will be the variable over here. So in first case it will be Rohit Sharma. So Rohit Sharma scored. The value will be an integer, right? But we need to create it to a string so that's why I am going to call this function. Let me show you what happens if we do not call this function. Then also we are getting the same answer. So looks like we don't need that anymore. Sometimes I also get confused in Python. Anyways, just remember like this: for key, comma value in scores or items, print this. Now there's another approach to do this. So instead of doing this, what I can do is that I can remove this. So I can say item for item in scores or items. So this means for every pair, this will get every. Actually, this will get only this much. Let me show you. So now I am deleting this and I will say, or rather I will copy this and then delete this. So now I will try to print item. Let's see what happens. Okay, perfect. So now we are getting these tuples Rohit Sharma 150 and Shikhar Dhawan 30. So we have broken down the list. I think we don't need that now. So now the second approach I was talking to was I will copy the back and now I will say for that item scored scores item runs. So this means that this item is basically I show you that it's the name of this only this much, and now I am accessing that item to get scores item. So it will be, so let's say it's Rohit Sharma, then it will search the dictionary for the key name Rohit Sharma and then it will display the number associated with it. Now if I run it, we will get the same output but with different approach. So if you think this approach is easy, then use this. You can see when I print item, we are getting Rohit Sharma and Shikhar Dhawan. Perfect. Now let's move. So I understand, and you must understand this too. If I say in scores.items, then it will print this whole. But if I only say scores, then it will only print this key. And this is very important to know. And that's it. Let's move. So now we know how to access the key values. But now we should look at how to change the values. So let's say initially the Rohit Sharma was at 50 runs, but now he scored century. So we need to change this. Initially, if I try to print it, I know that I am going to get 50. But to show you, I will do that. Rohit Sharma. But now in the next slide, I will change this value. So he has scored century now. So for that, what I will say, I will copy this much and I will say that the value for Rohit Sharma becomes 100 now. So it will change this value from 50 to 100. Don't believe me? Just let me copy paste this line and there we go. At first, the score of Rohit Sharma was 50, and after I executed this line, it became 100. Perfect. But now let's say Rohit Sharma got out. So we need to remove this, right? We need to remove this element. And for that, what we do is that I will say, I will use the del keyword. So I will say del scores Rohit Sharma. So it will delete this key value. And let's see. So you see that even though we are getting an error, it's still printing 50 because at first Rohit Sharma's score was existing, but now it got out. So this does not exist. That's why it's throwing an error. But to show you more precisely, I will print the list itself. I mean dictionary itself. And now if I run it, you can see initially we had Rohit Sharma as 50, Shikhar Dhawan as 30, but now we only have Shikhar Dhawan as 30. Let's say Rohit Sharma got out and Virat Kohli came in. So for that we need to set the Virat Kohli's value to 0 because initially the score of any cricketer will be 0. So for that, what I will do is that after deleting this scores, I will say I will declare a new value, new key, that is Virat Kohli, which is 0. Oh sorry, looks like I have to change this to S. Perfect. So what this will do is that it will create a new key with a new value. And there you go. You can see that initially Rohit Sharma 50, Shikhar Dhawan 30, Rohit Sharma got out, then that's why it's not in the list. But Virat Kohli came in and he is initially at 0. Perfect. So now you know how to change, how to delete and add some values to a list. Perfect. But let's say the whole team got out. So there is no player left. That's why we need to empty the list or clear the list. So for clearing the list, I will say scores dot clear. And now if I try to print scores, let's see. Okay, perfect. So at first, this was my case. This was my scores variable. And after I cleared the scores, then it became an empty dictionary, which is great. So after all this, I finally think that you have actually fully understood how to use dictionaries in Python, and don't forget to practice what you have learned today. I will see you in the next video. Until then, bye bye.